Hello and good morning, people. Today I'm gonna be doing brake pads. Change the brake pads on a V70 XC 2002. Um, like and subscribe, and send it off to people. Share with people that you know that have a similar car. Here we go. Okay, first off, you're gonna take out the nuts to take the wheel off. What I did yesterday is I went to the car wash and washed it off real good. That way there's no dust and you don't get as dirty as you normally do. So just take it to the car wash before you do the work, and yeah. Okay, first off, you find your brake fluid reservoir, which is right there, looking in front of your car. It's right there to the right, back towards the firewall. What you want to do is just loosen up the lid here. The reason why is because when we're going to put pressure on the calipers, that oil needs to come back over here, so you don't want too much pressure. So just loosen it up and leave it as is, and we'll continue. Okay, so I got the tire off. Now I'm using a small little jack that came with the car. Normally I use my other big jack, but you want to go ahead and for safety, go ahead and use a jack stand. Put it right under that spot right there. When you take the tire off, just to be on the safe side, go ahead and put it under the car. So you got the jack. After you put the jack, you put the jack stand, and then lower it down a bit so it could hold on to the car with the jack stand. And take off your tire and just throw it under the car just for your safety. So what I know is I got a 15mm socket and a wrench. You might need a pry bar. I didn't use it, but if you don't have a pry bar, you just use a wrench and throw it in between on the back of your ratchet, and then you can use that as a pry bar. But there's two bolts. One is right there. You see it? It's 15mm. The other one's on the bottom of the caliper, which is right there. I'm not sure if you can see it, but right there. Loosen those up, and this whole caliper just comes off. Okay, it was kind of stuck a little bit. I used a hammer, smacked it right there, which is this way. The caliper just on there like this, so I just smacked it right on that corner, and it came right off. So now get these brake pads off. Just push them out. I'm gonna have to go off where you just push these out of the way. Get this one out as well. Just push right out. You have some springs that holds it on the bottom. Okay, no, holds it on the back, I guess. Right. Let me see. The spring is in there in the caliper. So let me get the phone and I'll continue. Okay, so it's off now. Now this right here is what pushes the brakes out and sort of squeezes the brakes. But what we're trying to do is push this back in with a I'm gonna use this C-clamp. I'm gonna put it out right there, and I'll turn it to till it goes to where it needs to be. And this is the reason why I had you loosen up the brake reservoir over here. If you remember at the beginning of the video, I told you loosen this up. That way the oil comes back up here when you squeeze that caliper, and you're not forcing yourself to you don't have a lot of pressure on there. So let me do that and I'll be right back. Okay, what I did here is I used the old brake pad from this side, from the opposite side to where the caliper is, and I put it in there, and I just used it as a flat surface so you're able to push it and squeeze that caliper. As you can see, there's an old brake pad right there. So it's this could be flat surface, and I'll show you right now when I take it off so you can know what I'm talking about. See, there's a brake pad, it just slides right in there, but there's a big hole right here, so you're not going to be able to grab it from anywhere. You don't want to damage any of this, so that's why you need like a flat surface right there to squeeze it together, squeeze it back. So use a brake pad from the opposite side. The reason why the opposite side is because the other one has the springs that go in that hole, and you don't want to get it in there and it's stuck, get it stuck or something will happen. So just take it out, take the other brake pad, use that brake pad to push the caliper in. And now we got the new brake pads, and they'll just slide right in. I'm not sure that I need to show you, but I'll show you after I'm done here. I've got two hands and I can't really do the work with one hand. Okay, so I forgot to tell you this, but you also want to get some disc brake. It's like a little bit of grease, so you can quiet down when it there's a lot of friction in there, and the metal, and that's why the brakes squeak. So say for example, put a little bit right there, a little bit right there, even a little bit on this there. I'll go right here with it, right there, and right there. Oh, you can see, my bad. Right there. That way your brakes don't squeak all crazy. So there you go. I just need to spread it out evenly, but you don't forget that. That's very important. And I probably need to turn my rotors, but right now I don't have the time, and I don't have the time for it. Just gonna do a quick brake, change the brakes, and that's it. Let me see. So just make sure everything's intact. Make sure this spring doesn't come out. You don't need to take out that spring at all. It's just the two bolts. It'll come right off. So let me put this back together, and I'll show you the finished product. Okay, it was a little difficult to put the first pad in, but I figured it out. You got to put these in first, and then the ones in the back. But that's what I did. But to put those in first, like this needs to, you can use this to pry it up a little. I can't do it with one hand, but you use it to pry, so in order to get these in, these sides in. And then once you get those in, you can push that the back one in. So it's just a matter of having to pry this. This will open up. It opens up. That's why the spring's right there. It opens up, and it'll you let these slide in, and then once these slide in, you can slide those ones in the back in that caliper. The other one should be simpler. It's just on this side, so I'll get that done, then I'll put it back together. I got the last pad in. Like I said, you gotta sort of pry it right here, so you could able to move it up, in order for these ends of the brake pad to go into that slot. So just pry right here, either here or here, on both sides. Either just one side's good, and you get it in there. So now I'm gonna install it. I'm not sure that I can do this with one hand. Let's see, hopefully you're able to see right there. Slides right in, as you can see while you're moving. See that? It slides right in, then you just throw in the bolts in the back, tighten her up, tie her back on, and that's your front brakes on a V70 XC. Like and subscribe. I still got more on this video, but while you're down here as well, you know, it's good to look at your back. So right there I can see I have a busted CV joint. Also, I'm looking at my, you can see that right there, that's ripped. So I gotta do some work on this suspension and the shocks for sure. I need to change those out. That'll be another day, another $1. But you know, just take a look to see what else needs to get done, so that way you know what you need to do to your car. So let me put this back together, and I'll continue with the back brakes here in just a bit. There it is. It took me longer to set up and to actually make the video than to do the work. It's once you set up, I mean, it'll take like no more than 20 minutes. I mean, it should take like 10 minutes, like really, in reality. I still need to do the other side, and I'll come back to the back brakes here in a bit. Thank you. Okay, here it is, the back brakes. Now, it's funny because when I went to the tire store I had a flat, and then I told the guy to go ahead and rotate all the tires and balance them and all. I got pretty good tires. I just bought this car. It looks like they just sort of threw the tires in there and made it look good. But anyways, he was having a hard time. He took out 4 bolts out of the tire, and he's with the machine trying to get the last bolt out. And he comes to me. He's like, "Hey, excuse me, sir. I think this bolt is going to break if you take it out." And I just don't know how he didn't know, which is obvious. I mean, it's common sense. I told him, "Why don't you tighten up all the 4 bolts that he took off, and then loosen up the one that's tight?" And he sort of got mad at me. For the rest of the period that he was changing the tires, he was pretty upset with me. But he got it out. And but anyways, I'm here. I just got this car, and I mean, I didn't get it too long ago, but look at the pads. They're basically rubbing metal against metal, metal against metal. These are the back brakes. That's and also I need shocks. I mean, look at these shocks. Are freaking, oh my god, look at that. I need shocks, and it needs a lot of work. But anyways, here's the back brakes. So we're gonna do the back brakes. I'll come back and let you know what we need, and I'll be back in a few. Okay, so for the back, you're gonna need a 13mm socket. I use this really nice socket wrench, which has a little zzz on it, and well, to loosen it up, I just used the quarter-inch socket with the. I didn't even use the extension. I was gonna see if the extension worked, for the bottom bolt, it's kind of tight. We just need to loosen it. Then I use this little ratchet thing to loosen it with. I don't know if you have something like that, but it's kind of a minimal space to turn it. So, but here, this is for the back, and of course the C clamp and stuff, and the rest of the stuff that I used for the front. You will need the 15 millimeter back here, and that's all. This is all you will need right here to take out that one bolt. And well, there's another bolt on here, sort of the same. So you take that one out. I want to show you, it's a little bit more difficult to do the back ones because there's the ABS wire right there, and you can't really clamp it on the top. So I've got it, it's right on the edge. I'm just holding it right there and squeezing it little by little. Then I'll loosen this up. This should go down a little bit, adjust again, and then squeeze it again, little at a time. It's gonna take time, but it'll get done. Then again, these are stuck, kind of stuck. So what I did with the ones in the front, like as I was saying, just tap it right here. Just make sure you don't hit that spring. Just tap it a little, and it should come up right out. We're pretty tight in there. That's because it's going metal against metal. I'm gonna have to get a new rotor here for sure. That'll be coming up here soon. But to change the rotor, as a matter of fact, you just need to loosen this up, and this whole thing comes out. On these ones, I think they have the e-brake right here under this, and I think there's like this thing back here to turn it, to loosen it up. That way you're able to get the disc out to change those brakes that are in here. My brakes in there are good, so I don't need to do that. But anyway, so pretty much right here, what I did, I took this out, this little plunger thing right here off of it here. That way it's not in the way of that bolt right here. Took the bolts out, and that's it. And pretty much just do the same thing that I did in the front with the caliper and all, and it should be the same way, just different tools. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share, and thank you.